Hello and welcome to episode 181 of the Mark and Me podcast. As always, I'm your host Mark. Now joining me on today's episode is the American actress and writer Danielle Deadwyler. We get to sit down and talk all about the amazing roles that she's been in, like the TV series Watchmen, the amazing film from last year and still one of the best films I've seen for a long time, The Harder They Fall, and her most recent film, the amazing horror The Devil to Pay, which is out now on all the streaming platforms and honestly is incredible. That interview is coming up in just a few moments' time, but as always I like to use the intro of every episode to touch base and talk about the previous episode. Only a few days ago I released episode 180. This was with Philadelphia Lloyd, and we got to talk all about Mamma Mia, The Iron Lady, and what it's like to direct some of the world's biggest actresses. An amazing interview, and as always, thanks so much to everyone that tuned in and the amazing feedback that I've been through. It was so good to have her on, and I can't wait to get her back on in the near future. But let's get back to today's episode. Danielle Deadwyler, an amazing actress, so full of energy, so full of life, and an amazing interview. So I think the best thing to do is to get straight to it. So here's me and Danielle talking all things film. So Danielle, thanks for joining me today on the Mark and Me podcast.
Thank you for having me. My goodness.
What I'd like to do today is for the listeners out there is to get an idea of what made you want to become an actor. So let's take it back to the start. Can you remember those early films you watched or what it was that influenced you that made you think that is what I want to do?
Mark, I have no idea what those are. Oh my God. No, I will say this. I've been performing since I was 4 years old. My mother said she saw me dancing in front of the TV, like watching Soul Train or something. And so dance is my first medium, and she immediately put me into it. And that was a natural segue into theater, which was a segue into performance art and just navigating the whole spectrum of what it means to be someone who is creative. And I tried to get away from it, not thinking that that was something that I would literally do as a practice as an adult, because I thought I was like, oh, I'm going to go in the academic world and be a professor. But certain things didn't work out. I didn't get into this one program, and I thought it was the end of the world. And then I taught 2 years elementary school, 4th and 5th grade, and that was I remember doing something that gave me an insane energy. Oh yes, I must get back to that. And that was the segue back to doing theater professionally, living in that for several years. And then by that time, there was this swelling of film and television that was happening in Atlanta. And I lived in Vancouver for a short while, and that's where my son was born, and things started to proliferate after that, right? But doing theater and getting a few roles here and there. And that was the start of the film and TV career. But I know I loved watching The Wiz with Diana Ross. I mean, that was just like everything. It was dance. It had that theater feel. If I remember correctly, I do think some people from Black theater at the time were a part of that production design and just, professional dancers coming out of the freaking like shells and whatnot, and Diana doing her thing, and Michael doing his thing, and everybody. It's the epitome of ensemble kind of work, which is cool to me. And then I love Lord of the Rings, the first one. Incredible. Like I watched it when I first got the DVD. I watched it several times, specifically for Andy Serkis playing Gollum. It's something about physicality and vocal flexibility that he embodies, which is just fucking insane. So those are the things that really push me. A chorus line. I remember watching that in the periphery. Like my older sister would watch certain things, and I know that I should not have been singing tits and ass as a kid, but whatever.
And you started out doing TV and shorts and stuff, but one of the first things that I really saw and took note in was Watchmen, and that was one of my favorite films ever. But to see the TV adaptation be so successful and do so well, what was it like to work on such a large production with such a big budget and just such an amazing cast and just production crew?
You know what? I'm never thinking of the hugeness of it, because
Yeah.
it's about the intimacy of the story. It's about who you are and what you're bringing specifically for the relationship of characters to that. And it's always family building for me. It's community care. We are diving into this thing together. I remember Jovan and I sat down to navigate the timeline of the experience of our roles. And that was really lovely, like to do that deep American history dive and to do that, rigorous relationship cultivation. That's the real part, right? And then we're coming together and everybody's synthesizing in their own way. It takes away the enormity of it and shrinks it down to the true intimacy. And then when you're on set, there's that, intimacy, because they're caring for you and you're caring for your role and you're caring for each other, right? Like it's big, but it's very, very small at the same time.
And you're obviously involved in The Harder They Fall, which I saw make most people's top 5 lists of last year for film. I think in 10, 20 years' time, we're going to look back at this film and it'll be like a cult classic. I think it's so underrated, even though everyone's...
That's James Samuel. He said it was he said it was a classic. He said he was making a classic, and look at here.
It's incredible. And it must be an amazing opportunity to be involved in that, and just the reception it got. I've not met anyone that doesn't like that film. It's literally the film that everyone talked about last year, and that must be amazing to be part of something like that.
That's dope. You never know what you're doing, right? Like, that's not true. Sometimes you do. You don't want to predict, right? Because you can't, but I know what it was to make it. I know what it was to be in the trenches every day and to have a parallel energy of rigor and discipline and focus. I know what it means to have built that camaraderie, riding those horses every day and shooting those guns and learning with the gang every day. And I know what it means everybody to come wanting to make something that is rich and something that is bringing a different history, a different understanding of history, one that was muted, right, to the fold. And it's always important to bring the margin to the center, and that's what this story does, and it does it in a really rich, entertaining way.
And currently, obviously, at the moment, you're promoting your brand new film, The Devil to Pay. And
boom, yeah.
This film, I've been lucky enough to see it, and people are saying it compares to like Midsummer, which is one of the best horrors over the last 5 years, one of the cult classics, Wrong Turn and stuff. Now, this was quite different to your previous work. What was it like getting into the mindset of this kind of revenge, this horror, this thriller that really is trying to get under your skin and make you feel what you're going through in every scene that we see?
Yeah, Ruckus and Lane came to me and told me that this is the story that they wanted to tell, and they wanted to snatch me off into the mountains for 4 weeks. It's a very isolating experience because just the way I practice and the way I move, it at the core, it's survival.
Yeah.
At the core, it's protection, a maternal protection. I know those things. I know what that means. I know what that means as a Black woman in America. I know what that means as a mother to a child. Obviously, Ezra is my real son and played Coy. And so that just ramping that up to the umpteenth notch and understanding that, wanting to communicate that danger, which is a real danger in our society, and just translating that to Appalachia. That's it's nerve-wracking, right? Because it's a different environmental dynamic. It's a concentrated terrorism on a family, but she is the ultimate fighter, right? And the ultimate person who is underplayed, and that's fine. You can underplay, but you will get reckoned with.
And because it was so different and it was probably much of a mental challenge for you, were you prepared like to do different ways about going about this part or taking on this role? Were you watching different films that you might have not seen before? Were you reading scripts of different stories of previous horror works, or were you just going in this and taking it like any other job but adapting your persona to it?
Every job is different, but I wasn't doing a cinematic comparative analysis. That's
Yeah.
not the effort. It's too isolating in order to do that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
No, I just dove in with what I knew. I mean, I'm a Georgia born human being. I travel to the mountains often. I do specifically do historical research on any character, on
Yeah.
any environment, but I rolled with that mostly.
And you said having your son on set, that must have been incredible.
It's weird, first of all, because I make it a point to separate life, right? It's also weird because it's like he's not done anything yet. Ruckus and Lane were like, does Ezra want to do it? And he was like, no, and I want him to be a kid, and I want him to have fun, and I don't want him to like be caught up in, stuff that just happens with regard to film and TV. But then he came back and was like, they came back and they asked him to audition again, or just to play again. And he said, okay, I'll do it. And he did it, and he was having fun. And then he did it again, and he was having fun. Let's do the scene again. It was a marvel to witness him like settle into it. I don't know if it was just me or if he truly appreciated, or found something in Coy different that he had in, only a couple of other auditions that he had done. But it was beautiful to watch him be so buoyant on camera and so full of who he, of the role, because he's much more chatty than Coy, especially to me, right? I'm his mom. So to see him sit in front of a red and be comfortable, and to be full, and to be, full of, have that energy on camera, it was like, man, you're fucking good, because I wouldn't have done that. Like, I know I was not that way at 8 and 9, but that's cool. That's progress. That's good for him.
And has he has he now got this taste for it? And he's like, Mom, I want to go and be in the next Spider-Man. I want to do this.
He is obsessed with Marvel. I tell you that. I don't know if he wants to act for real. He's done theater, and he's performed like musically and whatnot, but I'm letting him play. He's just experimenting. He's a kid. I'm gonna let him be himself.
It's an incredible proud mom moment, though, to be on set and see your son and see him shine and do so well. You must be like, I want to walk over and give him a hug and say, that's incredible, but I also need to stay in character and know that I've got my next scene.
That what's going on, because it's difficult enough to just be trying to do your role. To have a producerial capacity is a whole nother thing, and then to be like this parent, right? It's multitudes of labor that are happening. That's why it had like this. Do I really want to do that? But he was attentive. It doesn't hurt to be given things over and over again, to have the plethora of snacks, but he took it great in stride. And I it's something I cherish. I do.
And a lot of people that listen to the podcast are up and coming actors, or wanting to get into film school, or just will love the opportunity to get out there and be seen. What advice do you give to the people that are listening today that want to be like you, become an actor, be in TV, be in film? What advice would you say that really they can hold close to them, that will get them seen, or at least try and make a name for themselves in an industry that is so difficult to break through in?
Mm-hmm. I think it's important for them to figure out themselves. I think that's been the thing that has aided me most. And it's not been an intention to be seen. I think the more significant word is to share, because to share means to share in any environment, in any place. And when I came to that understanding, then the work became richer. It's important to constantly be learning, to know that you can learn and unlearn from all kinds of places, from community, from dialogue and conversation with strangers, to those most intimate with us, to the rigor of academic books, to the rigor of novels and literature and poetry. And and experimental work and nature, and like it's really just to learn and share and be shared with the totality of human experience. I know that's like probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that's the truth of it. That's the truth of being, and that's what people should be. That's what I think people should be doing in any kind of like art form. And so that's the richest thing. And then all of the other stuff will come along later.
And what's next for you? What's the future looking like? Have you already got some
Oh
rock that you're not allowed to talk about, but you could give an exclusive? Or is there things happening that, you know?
I don't know. I do performance art and visual art. And so I'm like developing stuff in that regard. I'm making some experimental films with my long-term crew. I'm just playing and taking time and being a mother. I think it's and being myself, navigating what it means to be myself in this time. We are still living in a fucking pandemic, right? Like it's still this super radical time to invent and to reinvent who we are. And I think I'm just there, and I'm not pushing. What does it mean to labor?
I don't think we'll ever get that opportunity to take a step back. As much as the pandemic is awful and
exactly.
the COVID is awful, I've never found a time where I've been able to reflect on my life, my actions, what I've done in the past, and what I want to do in the future. Right now, I feel like I've got more headspace than I've ever had. I can go on walks, I can go outside, but also all the little things that I took for granted, I realize just how important they are now and how big they are. So it is a real good time, isn't it, to kind of reevaluate everything.
It's so crazy. It's fucked up that trauma has to shift us.
Yeah.
Right. And just to take it back to like to Devil to Pay, Lemon is shifted because of a trauma, because of loss of like her literal love, because of the kidnapping of her child. And so, and then, this may be too far of a reach. I mean, the pandemic has been a communal trauma for all of us, forcing us to reconsider what our lives are. There was a great resignation. There's a great racial reckoning. There is a ridiculous amount of climate issues that are happening. There is, the gender labor dynamic is shifting. Like, what the fudge is all of this happening literally doing to us as individuals? And I think that we have to re-implement this on a regular basis. We are not here to just do. We're to be and to figure it out day to day and to slow life down.
And my final question for you today, I try and make the podcast as original as I can. So any guest that comes on the podcast gets to choose the outro piece of music that goes on. So after the interview's done, you can choose any song in the entire world that means the most to you. Now, when I put you on the spot, I understand it's hard because there's probably 50 songs, then they're down to 10.
I know mine.
You know yours.
Okay, I do. It's I want to play "Oh Happy Day."
Oh, beautiful.
I want "Oh Happy Day" to play. Yeah.
Beautiful choice.
It's the specific. It's the Hawkins family, I think. But yes, "Oh Happy Day," that visceral gospel quality one. Yes, that.
I'm already thinking of Lauryn Hill, the sister.
No, don't play that one. Don't play that one. Play the original shit.
Of course I won't. But I was just thinking of the scene again from Sister. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's fun. I love it.
I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and I can't wait for people to see The Devil to Pay. It's going to be an incredible experience for people, and I wish you all the best with your future.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's been my pleasure too. For you as well.
Thank you so much.
So there it is. There's my interview with me and Danielle Deadwyler. An amazing, amazing person. So much life, so much energy, and so raw and so honest. And that's the best kind of guest that I can get on this podcast. So a massive thanks for Danielle for coming on the show and talking all about her brand new film, previous work, and as I said, The Devil to Pay is out right now and is incredible. It's one of those horrors that will stay with you for a while. It's brilliant, and the acting performances across everyone in the film are amazing, so please go and check it out. If you're new to Mark and Me, welcome aboard. There's over 180 episodes available for you to go right back now and check out, with interviews from all different people from all different walks of life. If If you're a long-time listener, thanks for checking out this episode, and as always, anyone that listens, new or old, all I ask in return for these free episodes is to share it on your social media network. You can do this via Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and all the links for Mark and Me are on the Mark and Me website, which is simply markandme.com. Every share, every tweet, every Facebook share, it really makes a massive difference and can bring a whole new audience to Mark and Me, and that is priceless. It means so much, and each and every week I see more and more listeners doing this, so thanks so much for taking it on board and doing this. I can't thank you enough. If you really want to support the podcast, I do also have a Patreon account. This is a way of funding the podcast and allowing me to go out there and record more episodes for you guys at home. No money is actually made into profit on this podcast. It all goes directly into the production of the podcast, traveling and doing more and more episodes. And starting this month in February, I'll be releasing one episode every month exclusively just for my patrons. Not only that, the amazing guys at Richer Sound who have jumped on board are going to be giving us every single month an incredible prize. Not only that, the amazing guys at Last Exit to Nowhere have come along and given me some t-shirts to give away each and every week to my amazing patrons, and Vice Press, my favourite company out there for all those amazing movie posters, has come along and as always give me some variants, artist proof and really rare artwork. This is exclusive to my patrons and a way of saying thank you for supporting me. So please jump on the site, and for as little as £1 a month, honestly, you're getting at least 8 episodes every month, and now a bonus episode just for you guys at home. I want to say thanks for listening, and I'll be back in the next 24 hours with a brand new episode for you all. So until then, take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you all very soon.
When Jesus wore, oh, when he wore, when Jesus wore, he washed my sins away. Oh, happy day, 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 oh, happy day. When Jesus wore, oh, when he wore, when Jesus wore, he washed my sins away. Lord, oh, it's a happy day. happy day. Oh, Lord. Good God. Oh, yeah. Lord.